What exactly has China discovered on the moon? It's got NASA rattled. The moon is a freak of the solar system. You might not realize this, but astronomically, the moon makes zero sense. It has a diameter of 3,476 kilometers, 1/4 the size of Earth. This massive satellite-to-planet ratio is incredibly rare across the entire solar system's rocky planet lineups. It is precisely its immense gravity that triggers tides and stabilizes our axial tilt, providing crucial conditions for the long-term survival of life on Earth. In recent years, China's lunar exploration program dug up something that simply shouldn't exist. It has overturned everything humanity thought we knew about the moon, and it might even be silently rewriting our destiny. It's not a relic from the Apollo landings, nor is it an alien base from a sci-fi movie. It is something that shouldn't be there. A strange entity, present in quantities far exceeding what any scientist had previously estimated. Back in the day, the lunar soil brought back by Apollo astronauts had negligible water content. Scientists were convinced the moon was a dehydrated planet. Until the arrival of China's Chang'e mission. In 2020, Chang'e 5 landed in the ocean of storms. The spectrometer on board sent back shocking data. In the landing zone, 1 ton of lunar soil contained about 120 grams of water. To put it more intuitively, that's like squeezing 2 bottles of water out of a single truckload of moon dirt. This shattered the old belief that the moon was bone dry, but it also introduced a deeper mystery. Why doesn't this water evaporate? We know the moon has no atmosphere and daytime surface temperatures soar above 120 degrees Celsius. Liquid water should vanish instantly. So, in what form does this water actually exist? The answer was locked inside a transparent mineral crystal. In 2024, Chinese scientists conducted a lab analysis on 1.5 grams of Chang'e 5 soil, sifting out a never-before-seen transparent mineral crystal. They named it ULM1. Analysis revealed that the molecular formula of this mineral actually locks in 6 crystalline water molecules. Water makes up a staggering 41% of it. This means that this seemingly ordinary rock is nearly half water. This form of water is called structural water. The water molecules are practically nailed down within the chemical bonds of the crystal. This structure is so robust that even exposed to the searing heat of the lunar day, it locks the moisture in. Not a drop would be lost even after 1,000 years of baking sun. Even more baffling is that the soil samples brought back from the far side of the moon by Chang'e 6 had a water content more than 3 times lower than the near side. Does this imply the moon is in a split state of being wet on the front, dry on the back? This directly challenges the long-held hypothesis that lunar water was primarily delivered by ancient comet impacts. After all, comets shouldn't just pick and choose the near side of the moon. The scientific community now speculates that the water on the near side likely comes from volcanic eruptions deep within the moon, and the ULM1 crystal might be the fossilized evidence formed from the reaction between ancient volcanic gases and lunar soil. These water-bearing rocks are definitely not just for show. Lunar water can be split into liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. These 2 substances are rocket fuels more precious than gold. More importantly, launching rockets from the moon costs only 1/5 of what it costs from Earth due to the lower gravity. This makes the moon no longer a distant finish line, but a gas station for humanity's flight into deep space. China has already planned to establish a water ice processing plant during the Chang'e 8 mission to provide critical support for future space exploration. The discovery of structural water lays the foundation for humanity to achieve breathing freedom and fuel freedom on the moon for the first time. If structural water offers humanity a source of life, then China's second discovery on the moon points directly to the lifeline of our future energy. In 2022, while deeply analyzing the Chang'e 5 soil samples, Chinese scientists announced a discovery that shocked the world. A brand new mineral was found, named after the Chinese lunar exploration program, the Chang'e stone. The Chang'e stone itself is a phosphate mineral, but what really shook the world is the treasure hidden inside its belly, helium-3. Helium-3 is a naturally occurring but incredibly rare isotope. It is rarer than gold on Earth because our planet's powerful magnetic field acts like a giant shield, blocking out the vast majority of helium-3 particles arriving from the solar wind. However, the moon has no global magnetic field. For billions of years, solar winds carrying massive amounts of helium-3 have continuously blown onto the lunar surface. Minerals like the Chang'e stone act like natural molecular sieves, firmly capturing and locking these precious helium-3 particles inside. Its value is immeasurable. Helium-3 is the most ideal clean nuclear fusion fuel humanity has discovered to date. Unlike the deuterium-tritium fusion currently being studied on Earth, helium-3 fusion produces almost no neutrons, which means its energy density is 10 million times that of coal-fired power generation. It produces no long-term radioactive waste. It is a truly zero-pollution, eternal energy source. Scientists conservatively estimate that the helium-3 reserves on the moon are enough to power humanity for tens of thousands of years. It represents a chance for human civilization to break free from fossil fuel dependence and achieve eternal energy freedom. This isn't just a scientific discovery, it is the key to future energy. Whoever masters the technology to mine and utilize lunar helium-3 first will seize the high ground of the next energy revolution. China's lunar discoveries are liberating humanity's future from the shackles of Earth. The discovery of water and energy is just the first step for China to achieve breathing freedom on the moon. Next, we will truly step into a grand, three-stage vision. First, establish a long-term operational lunar base. Using lunar water and soil as raw materials, we will build a self-sustaining base for long-term research and living. Here, scientists can conduct cutting-edge physics, astronomy, and biology experiments free from Earth's environmental constraints. The moon will become our first outpost as we march into deep space. Second, use the moon as a staging ground to set foot on other planets in the solar system. Leveraging the moon's low gravity and abundant rocket fuel, liquid hydrogen and oxygen, we will turn our gaze toward Mars, the asteroid belt, and even the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, all at a fraction of the cost. Within the next 100 years, the moon will become humanity's transit hub and launch pad for exploring the entire solar system. Third, build the first generation of interstellar spacecraft and fly into the deep cosmos. Finally, humanity will construct the first interstellar spacecraft powered by nuclear fusion. This ship will carry the spark of human civilization out of the solar system and into deep space, in search of the next habitable home. Compared to Musk's plan to colonize Mars directly, China's discoveries on the moon seem to offer a much more solid approach to space exploration. However, Musk has recently made some bizarre new moves, and it looks like they might actually be related to China's lunar findings. Like and subscribe, and in the next episode, we'll talk about Musk's latest RD trends.